Hello there, welcome to CXC Math TV. Today in this video we're going to be looking at how to convert fractions to decimal. So we know that a half is 50%. We all know that half of something must be 50%. And we all know that a half is 0.5 as a decimal. But how did we arrive at 0.5? That's the real question. How do we convert fractions to decimal? Alright, so how do we go about converting fractions to decimal? Well, it's very easy. Let's have a look at the steps. The first step of converting a fraction to decimal is we divide the numerator by the denominator. That is the first step. We divide the numerator by the denominator in long division form. Alright, that's what we do. We divide it in long division form. So instead of writing 8 divided by 25, we just set up our long division sign. Remember the long division sign? The slash. So let's just refresh our memory of what long division is. So we rewrite 8 over 25 as the denominator come out here as the divisor. Then we'll put a slash and the 8 on the inside. Alright, so you're probably wondering, how do we divide 25 into 8? Because the denominator is bigger than the numerator. Well, let's just review what we did for long division. Let's say you were asked to divide 144 by 12, right? We know that 144 is deemed as the dividend and 12 is the divisor. And the result that we get is called the quotient. So, in writing 144 over 12, right, we put our divisor on the outside and the dividend on the inside. Then we say 12 into 1, that can't happen, so the result is 0, so put our 0 at the top. Then we say 12 times 0 is 0, then we subtract. Then we bring down the 4, and now we have 14. 12 into 14 goes 1 time. And then we do it all over again. 12 times 1 is 12. And then what do? We subtract. Now 14 minus 12 is 2. Then we bring down the 4. Then we say 12 into 24 goes 2 times. Then we say 2 times 12 is 24. And once we get 0, we finish. So we realize that 144 divided by 12 is just giving us 12. That's long division that we would have learned in prep school for many of us, or primary school for some of us. Lovely. So let's go back to converting fractions to decimal. So we rewrite 8 over 25 in long division form. So 25 cannot go into 8, so we know the result is 0. So 25 times 0 is 0. Then we subtract, we get 8. So now we have 8, but 25 still can't go into 8. So by the long division method, we're stuck. No, you're just going to add a 0. Add a 0? Yes. Imagine you're just bringing down some 0. Alright, but when you bring down some 0, the key thing is you're going to put a point in the quotient, a decimal point. So now you're going to say 25 into 80. 25 into 80 goes, yes, 3 times. And so 25 times 3 is 75. We subtract and we get 5. Alright? But we still don't get 0 yet, so we don't finish. So we have to continue. So now we're going to add another 0. Yes, add another 0 to the 5. Then say 25 into 50 goes 2 times. 2 times 25 is 50. Subtract. Now once you get a 0 down there, you finish. So now we can say that 8 over 25 is 0.32 as a decimal. And that's how we convert a fraction to decimal. So here's one for you to try. Write 18 over 45 as a decimal. Alright, 5 seconds, the clock is ticking. Just pause the video and attempt. Okay, lovely. So we all should have paused and attempted. So now we have 18 over 45. So let's follow the procedures. We put it in long division form. We say 45 into 18. That cannot happen. So we get 0. We'll put 0 at the top for the quotient. 45 times 0 is 0. We do our subtraction. 18 minus 0 is 18. But then we can bring down a 0. Alright? So we add our 0 now, and anytime we add our 0, we put a point in the quotient. Now 45 into 180, that goes 4 times. 45 times 4 is 180. And so if you got this, you're correct. 18 over 45 is 0.4. You are correct, and we are finished. So try these questions right here. Convert 27 over 40, 194 over 200, and 1 and 9 over 15 to decimal. Go ahead and attempt it. Lovely. So these are the results that we should have gotten. 27 out of 40 is 0.675. 194 over 200 is 0.97. And 1 and 9 over 15 is 1.6. I do hope everyone got them correctly and did the procedures above. Now, look at this now. Let's try to convert 2 over 3 to a decimal. Pause the video and attempt. Try converting 2 over 3 to a decimal. Alright, so I hope you would have attempted. And in converting 2 over 3 to a decimal, right? 2 over 3, you put it in long division form. And you realize 3 into 2 cannot happen. You put your 0. You do your subtraction. You get a remainder of 2. And you add a 0. Then you say 3 into 20 is 6 times. 3 times 6 is 18. You subtract. You get a 2. You add another 0. And then 3 into 20 again is 6 times. And you subtract. And you get 2 again. And you add another 0. You get 18. And you realize, but wait. This is going on forever and ever and ever. Right? So we realize that this is never ending. We're going to get 0.66666666, and it's never ending. Now, this is known as a reoccurring decimal. This is known as a reoccurring decimal. So 2 over 3 is often written as 0.6, just 1 6, and you put a dot above the 6. Now, the dot above the 6 means that it is reoccurring, meaning the 6 just continually to reoccur. In the same way, you write 1 over 3, which is 0.33333333. You can rewrite 1 over 3 as 0.3, all right, because it is reoccurring. So now, sometimes you might see that persons write 2 over 3 as 0.67. That's when you want to round it off to 2 decimal place. Or you might write 2 over 3 as 0.667 if you want it to 3 decimal place. Or 2 over 3 as 0.66667 if you wanted it to 4 decimal place. It really depends on how many decimal places you want to write it to, or how many decimal places you're asked to write it to. Alright, so that is extremely important to bear in mind. So now we're going to try to do some long division to convert some fractions that are going to give us reoccurring decimals. So the first one is 7 over 15. So let's set it up in our division, long division form. So now we say 15 into 7, that cannot happen. 15 times 0 is 0, so we subtract. We add a 0 and then put our decimal in the quotient. Now 15 into 70 goes 4 times. 15 times 4 is 60. 70 minus 60 is 10. Then we add another 0. 15 into 100 goes 6 times. 15 times 6 is 90. Then we subtract. 100 minus 90 leaves 10. Then we add another 0. And then 15 into that 100 again goes 6 times. 15 times 6 is 90. And then we subtract, and then we add our another 0. And what we realize is that it's going to keep on giving us more 6s. So 7 over 15 can be written as 0.4666666666, or we just write 7 over 15 is 0.46 with put the little dot over the 6 to show that it is reoccurring. Absolutely beautiful. All right. So now we're going to try to do some long division to convert some fractions that are going to give us reoccurring decimals. So the first one is 7 over 15. So let's set it up in our division, long division form. So now we say 15 into 7, that cannot happen. 15 times 0 is 0. So we subtract. We add a 0. 15 into 100 goes 6 times. 15 times 6 is 90. Then we add another 0. 15 into 100 goes 6 times. 15 times 6 is 90. Then we subtract. 100 minus 90 leaves 10. Then we add another 0. And then 15 into that 100 again goes 6 times. 15 times 6 is 90. So we see that 7 over 15 is 0.46 reoccurring. So now try the next two, 26 over 74 and 9 over 11. Now I hope you would have attempted, and with 26 over 74 you should be getting 0.351, 351, 351. Notice that the 351 repeat, so you put a dot above all of them, 0.351 with dots above the 3, 5 and the 1 to show that it's reoccurring. Those 3 digits are reoccurring. And try the 9 over 11. We should be getting 0.8181818181, and it goes on for an eternity. So we just write 0.81 reoccurring. Now if you got that, you did fantastic. Alright? Lovely, lovely, lovely. So that's it for today in terms of converting fractions to decimals. So we looked at converting fractions to decimals, and we looked at proper fractions. We looked at converting reoccurring decimals as well. Alright, so stay tuned for more, as we're gonna then look at how to convert decimals to fractions, and also decimals and fractions to percentages. So see you soon and take care.